right. Well, good evening, fam. Hey, it's your brother G Hightower, the Entanglement Coach, coming in on this wonderful Work It Out Wednesday night. And man, set my little situation up here, right? Um, Listen, tonight I want to talk about preparing for love after 40. Man, I've been getting so many messages from people all over the country, and it's really usually at one extreme end or the other. You have some people who are anxious and feeling under great pressure to get married or to just be in a relationship. And then you have others who are at the complete opposite end of the spectrum where they're like, yeah, I'm cool. I ain't trying to do marriage at all. I ain't trying to do no relationship at all. I just want to be single and be at peace by myself. And usually, the people who are choosing that spot are either people who have observed some very bad traumatic experiences or they have personally been through some traumatic experiences. Um, in my position as a relationships consultant, as a pastoral counselor, in my position, I ask people the question, have you ever been deeply loved? And interestingly, many of the people who say they want to be single, they don't want to be married. And listen, let me back up a little bit and commend those of you who are in a place in your life where you are content in your singleness. So I salute you. I commend you. No condemnation, no criticism at all. That's a personal life choice. And I salute you for being decisive in that and knowing that that's the space where you want to live for the rest of your life. But that's for a very select few. And while that number seems to be growing, when I talk to people who have chosen that place or people who are considering being single for the rest of their lives, and again, this is for the over 40 crowd, um, I find that many of them would say to me that they've never been deeply loved. They've never really experienced what it feels like to be deeply loved. And to be deeply loved, family, just to make sure we're clear here, to be deeply loved means that you've been in a healthy, reciprocal relationship. All right. I'm not talking about these whirlwind romances because many of us have had those. Right. We've had some whirlwind romances where you fell in love instantaneously, and we were kissing and hugging and loving and and all that kind of stuff. And those relationships usually ended up in a breakup. At some point, we decided to go our separate ways. Oftentimes, those relationships ended up in a very painful place because we were bonded together based on something that was not real love. We didn't have that real deep. Hey, Lady Felicia, good to see you. We didn't have that real deep, real spiritual and soul connection. We bonded on a whole bunch of other stuff. We bonded on physical attraction. We bonded on great chemistry. We bonded on phileo love, which is a love because we share a lot of things in common, but we didn't bond based on agape, that deep, unconditional love, right? And so I want to really, um, I really want to help you get to a place where you can at least open your mind to consider that if I take these steps, I can actually be in preparation mode. I can actually be ready for real love because a lot of us, we just have these big, huge walls up. We're preventing ourselves from having a real love experience. So I want to bless you tonight, family. I just came in just for a few minutes tonight. I'm going to give you tonight, family, just about 32 minutes. All right. And those minutes will fly by quickly. So don't like, oh, 32 minutes. I ain't got to stay here that long. If you've ever been in my broadcast, trust me, that time will fly by. Okay. We're going to drop these love nuggets. We're going to laugh. We're going to have some fun. And I'm going to give you an invitation to a beautiful Valentine's Day event as well. All right. Listen, let's jump right on into it. But before we do, please hit the share button. Hit that share button. Hit that share button. Let's go. Let's get some folks in on this broadcast, y'all. You know we got to help some people. And then do me a favor, family. Those of you that are my family, my Facebook family, my YouTube family, do me a favor and share this with 3 people that you know, okay? Even if you're on YouTube, Lady Felicia, you can share it. You can just hit the share button and it'll allow you to send a text or some kind of way that you can share it or either share it via email. All right. Blessings to you, Angelina. I see you, Clarissa. Bishop, what's up, bruh? Good to see you. All right, let's go. Let's get into it. All right, so here we go. So the first love nugget I want to give you tonight, family, is what we need to do. Okay, because what we're talking about tonight, our topic for tonight, family, is preparing for love after 40. All right, so this is for the grown and sexy crowd, right? That's what they call it nowadays, the grown and sexy crowd. Okay, for those of us who are grown and sexy, those of us who are grown and building, those of us who are grown and stable, those of us who are grown and healthy and mature, all right, because we don't call people old nowadays. It's almost inappropriate to call someone old. In fact, I consider it is inappropriate. I don't care if a person is 80, 90 years old. I don't call them old. I call them seasoned. Yes, that's the appropriate term. Because listen, I know some incredible women. I know two women I can name you right off the bat. They are in their 60s and they look better than some of these sisters in their 30s and 40s. And I'm telling you the truth, Ruth. Listen, I'm telling you, you talking about some baddies. Listen, and I know one lady who's in her 70s and she can outrun me and outrun just about everybody in this broadcast in her 70s. Yes, hunty, hunty. Talking about a baddie. Lord have mercy. All right. Listen. So let's get into it. We're going to drop these love nuggets tonight. We're talking about preparing for love after 40. Ladies, I want to bless you all tonight. Let's start off. Gentlemen, don't worry. I got your back, brothers. I'm an equal opportunity teacher. So I got your back, brothers. Don't worry. This ain't going to be one of them crazy broadcasts where it's like all skewed toward the women. I don't roll like that. Everybody will tell you that knows me. Now, I'm an equal opportunity teacher. All right. I got you, brothers. But let me pull up on my sisters first. Ladies, so I hear your heart cry. Many of you have emailed me, written me messages, inbox messages. Even before I went live tonight, I probably got a half a dozen messages in my inbox within the last 20 minutes or so. It's crazy. But listen, let me say this, ladies. I hear your heart cry. Many of you have been asking for. Oh wow, Clarissa said I'm in her. She's in her 60s. All right, Miss Clarissa. Yes, Miss Clarissa, you came in just in time. I don't know if this is your first time coming in, but thank you for tuning in tonight. Miss Angelina says, "Hey, I'm on that Mary J. Blige energy. I'm looking for a real love, real love. Hey, I'm looking for a real love. All right, go ahead, Angelina. Yes, here we go. All right, here's what's up. I hear your heart cry, ladies. Many of you are saying, "Hey, Coach G, we need these men who are. Where are the men who are emotionally intelligent?" And ladies, again, I hear your heart. It makes sense what you're asking for. I want to submit to you, ladies, that I want to ask you a question, and you all let me know in the chat. Okay. Ladies, do you believe that a healthy love relationship, in order for the relationship to be healthy, that it must be reciprocal? That both the man and the woman have to be giving equally to each other. Okay, let me know in the chat. If you do believe that, put healthy love in the chat. Healthy love, healthy love, healthy love, healthy love, healthy love, healthy love. Brothers, if you all in the chat, drop it in the chat. Healthy love. If you believe that if a man and a woman is going to have a healthy love relationship, then it has to be reciprocal. There has to be a give and a take, giving and receiving from both people, right? It's not just one way that the man is giving or that the woman is doing all the giving, but it has to be reciprocal. Okay. This is something that I teach in our love relationships, in our workshops. Healthy relationships are reciprocal. Okay. So you all agree with me. You all agree. Okay. So you agree. All right. That if a relationship is going to be healthy, if it's going to be sustainable, if it's going to be good, if it's going to be a healthy relationship, then it has to be reciprocal. Okay, cool. So we agree on that. All right. So, ladies, if you're asking, then knowing that healthy love relationship, thank you, Miss Cheryl, knowing that a healthy love relationship is a reciprocal relationship, ladies, I want you to please consider that if you're asking for men to be emotionally intelligent, which I won't go into that because that'll take us down a rabbit hole. That'll get me off my subject. But 90% of men who are sober minded, okay, whether he's a Christian or a non-Christian, whether he's a Buddha or non, whether he's a religious man or not, 90% of men are emotionally intelligent. Okay. And again, I'm talking about sober-minded men. I'm talking about men who are not suffering from some mental health disorder or otherwise. They're emotionally intelligent. But I won't go down that rabbit hole. Here's where I want to focus. ladies, if you're asking for men to be emotionally intelligent, if the relationship is going to be reciprocal, what men are needing from you is emotional maturity. Emotional maturity means that a good you have a good strong ability to maintain mastery over your emotions, that you're not emotionally all over the place, that you're not, when things don't quite go your way or you get upset, that you're not flying off the handle and everybody in the house is afraid. Even the dogs are scared. The dog goes away and find a corner somewhere to hide in because, oh my God, mama's about to blow her fuse up in here, right? Even the fish don't even want to blow no bubbles. The fish like holding his breath underwater, like, hey, she about to go off, dog. Hey, don't breathe. Don't breathe, dog. Don't breathe. Even the fish don't even want to. The fish just gonna be still, just like, hey, don't even move around right now because she might turn up the heat on this water. Like nobody wants to move because mama is upset. And everybody knows if mama ain't happy, the whole house not gonna be happy. And my question to you, ladies, and I'm being humorous but very serious. My question to you, ladies, and what I'm sharing with you is thank you, Lady Felicia. What a beautiful terminology. I love that term, emotional regulation. And I find that many of you, not all, but many of you lack emotional regulation. And so while you're asking for men to be emotionally intelligent, which we are emotionally intelligent, but I believe what you're really asking for, because this is gonna bring about the engagement that you need, you're needing emotional availability. So, what men are needing from women, again, because you all agreed with me, ladies, you agreed with me that in order for us to have a healthy love relationship, it has to be reciprocal, right? We both have to be given to each other. It's not just, well, if the men would do this, then women would do that. I hear so many women saying that. And basically, when you do that, ladies, you're putting a condition on your emotional regulation. You're putting a condition on your emotional maturity. You're putting a condition on the love that you're going to give, which makes the relationship then transactional. Well, if men would do this, then women would gladly do this. Why can't you just be where you need to be? Why can't you just be that wise virgin who has oil in her lamp versus the foolish virgin who says, well, if the men would have showed up on time, the oil that we did have in our lamp would have never ran out. We wouldn't have had to bring no extra oil. We wouldn't have we wouldn't have to try to go out to, Walmart in Jerusalem at midnight to go get extra oil. For those of you that know about the parable of the five wise and the five foolish virgins, right? So, ladies, emotional maturity. Men need to be emotionally available. And many of us are guilty. We're guilty of being unavailable emotionally. We're guilty of being emotionally detached. We're guilty of being emotionally distant. Many of us are guilty of that. Many of us go into what we call stonewalling mode. It's the psychologists give us this terminology, stonewalling mode, which means a man just completely shuts down and you're not going to get very much up out of him, right? And that that's a mode that men go into to protect themselves because they have learned by what you have shared with them or how you have interacted with them. They have learned to not express how they really feel for fear of being judged, of being criticized, or being told, oh, that's not even important. And when you minify the significance of what a man is expressing to you, then a man will no longer express himself to you. I'm going to say that again. That's going to change somebody's life in here tonight. When you minify the significance of what a man shares with you, he will no longer express himself to you. He'll just go into stonewalling mode because in his mind, no matter what I say, it won't matter to her. It won't matter. Or if she asks my opinion, but she doesn't agree with my opinion, she will find a way to chip away at every single thing that I'm standing on until I'm no longer standing. So I'd rather just sit down and not give her my opinion, even though I have one. But I'd rather just shut up and just keep the peace. This is the position, ladies, that a lot of men choose. A lot of men select that button because they would rather just be in peace. Okay. Um, so Lady Felicia asks, I see your question, Lady Felicia. I'm gonna jump to the questions in just a minute, but let me lay this out for us a little bit and then I'll come to your question. Great question, Lady Felicia. I'll definitely get to it. So, ladies, I want you to ask yourselves the question and please respond to me in the chat. Do you believe that you are emotionally approachable? Let me define. Emotionally approachable means that no matter what burden this man brings you, no matter what he opens up and shares with you, because remember now, if the two shall become one, this means that this man is your best friend. He's your confidant, you're his confidant. When he comes to you, my question, ladies, and please let me know in the chat, are you emotionally approachable? And while you're answering, I'll share you a quick story. My dad passed away in 2015. And I shall never forget, at that time, I was talking to a young lady. We hadn't gone out on a date yet or anything, but we were very much attracted to each other. We called each other regularly and, you know, prayed for each other and things like that. She's an awesome woman, you know, military woman, came out of the military, educated, beautiful spirit and everything. A little rough around the edges, quite a bit rough around the edges, but I was like, I'm cool with that. You know, I see her heart. I see her desire to grow, right? And so when people are teachable and they're willing to grow, as I am, I'm teachable. Okay. I want to learn from you. If you're my woman, I want to learn from you. You have something to give me that I ain't got. All right. Excuse me, mom. I'm saying ain't for emphasis. Okay. Not because you didn't raise me right. You got something I ain't got. So I'm in need of what you have to give. You're my favor factor. My God in heaven. Help me teach this thing tonight. You're my favor factor. So when you come into my life, you bring added wisdom. You bring added knowledge. You bring insight. You bring depth, a level of depth that I haven't had. Come on. When a good woman comes into a man's life, she helps him reach the apex of his potential. It doesn't matter what he's accomplished in his life before she came. Everything that that woman brings to that man will help him grow, help him increase, help him become a better man. You talk to the men that I'm blessed to talk to, men like my grandfather, men of my father's generation, and even brothers my age who are happily married, and universally these men tell me the same thing. It's a common denominator that I hear among these men who love their wives and are married. They say, man, my wife made me a better man. Even Snoop, D-O-double-G, said, I can't lose my wife. My wife made me a better man. Snoop was out there doing all his foolishness. Y'all know about Snoop Dogg. He's legend. He's a living legend. He was out there doing all his foolishness, and his wife was about to throw up the deuces and like, I'm out of here. She was about to leave Snoop. But thank God for the man of God, Uncle Charlie Wilson. Uncle Charlie poured into Snoop Dogg. And Snoop will testify to this day that because of his uncle slash mentor, Charlie Wilson helped Snoop get his wife back. The brother almost lost it. All right. Come on. So a man, even in his foolishness, will one day wake up, have an awakening, and hopefully the awakening is not too late. Hopefully baby girl ain't packed her bags and already gone out the door. But a man will come to himself and realize, I'm about to lose the best thing I ever had. So he will come to himself and say, man, I gotta do what I gotta do to get her back. Right? So let me say this to you, ladies, and have y'all shared the broadcast? Come on, hit that share button. Come on, because some folk need this up in here tonight. All right, listen. So, ladies, let me bless you with this. Because again, what I'm hearing from many of the ladies is your dire need to be heard and understood. Guess what, ladies? We as men, we're just like you. Our approach is different. Our presentation is different. Everything about us is different, but to our core, our needs are very much the same. I have found that a lot of women desire sex just as much, and in some cases, even more than her husband. Yeah. But we approach it differently. We look at it differently. We present differently. All right. But now listen to this. So, ladies, where I want to bless you tonight is, and I want you to consider, for some of you have commented in the chat that you are emotionally approachable. So I want to know, if you are emotionally approachable, do you create a space for your man to share from his heart, no matter what he's been through, no matter what he got to tell you, that he can share and pour out from his heart, whatever that is, and you do not make that man feel judged. You do not interrupt him while he is talking. All right? Because, ladies, that is a pet peeve for many of us men, myself included. Resist the temptation to interrupt your man when he's talking. Because, again, ladies, we're nowhere near as good as you in expressing ourselves. Men speak far less than women speak. So when the man does speak, resist the temptation to interrupt him. All right? Let me say it a little bit more directly. Shut to the up. Oh my God, I can't believe he said that. No, Dr. G, I couldn't believe it. Shut to the up. Shut to the up. Come on, this is a great exercise. Follow with me. Shut to the up. Shut to the up. I promise you. And then your man can speak uninterrupted. And guess what? He's going to feel the same way that you need to feel, the same way you express to us that you need to feel. You want to feel heard and understood. You don't want to be misunderstood. You don't want us to immediately come in and try to diagnose your problem and try to be Mr. Fix It. Sometimes you don't need us to do nothing. You don't need us to quote a scripture. You don't need us to go get a hammer and nails and a wrench and some pliers to try to fix. You don't need us to do any of that. You don't need us to put on our Batman tool belt. You just need us to hear your heart. You just need us to hold you and just let you pour out. And then we pour back in and get that love tank filled again just by loving you, holding you, and making sure that you know that you are heard and that you are understood. Right? All right. Let me give you the last love nugget, and I'm going to get to the questions in the comment section, the questions in the comments. So I'm asking you, ladies, what do you do to make sure that you create space for your husband to share his heart, your man, your significant other to share his heart? What do you do? This question is rhetorical. Okay, you don't have to drop the comment in. But my question for you is, and again, it's rhetorical. What do you do as a woman, as a wife, to create a safe space for your husband, your man, to share his heart? What steps do you take? This is all related to our topic tonight, ladies and gentlemen, preparing for love over 40. All right. Let's take some of these questions. And then, ladies, then gentlemen, I've got some love nuggets for you tonight, things that we need to do as men to prepare ourselves. All right. Let me take, I think Lady Felicia asked a great question. I want to make sure I address her question. Lady Felicia asked, but is that the present person's responsibility, or does it stem from past trauma or experiences? I would say, Lady Felicia, both. Both is the answer to this question. It is oftentimes from past trauma, past experiences, disappointments in relationships. And it can be, or it can be just this person's responsibility to communicate how they feel. But now remember, you got to remember now, Lady Felicia, ladies, gentlemen, you got to remember that most of us have never been deeply loved. I don't care if we've been in several relationships. I don't care if we've been married more than once, more than twice, more than thrice. Most of us have never been deeply loved. And when I'm talking about deeply loved, that I mean that we are not just married on paper, but we have a spirit, soul, and body connection. It is spirit to spirit, soul to soul, heart from heart to heart, breast to breast, that we are truly one. That when no matter what I am going through, no matter how I'm feeling, no matter what I'm thinking, I can come and share with my purpose partner. If I can't talk to nobody else in the world, I can come talk to my baby. This is what we're supposed to have. This is what we're supposed to be building, right? So now, again, some of us have been through trauma. To the point of your question, Lady Felicia, some of us have been through trauma, and we've learned, although it's self-taught, the trauma shaped our thinking, and so we taught ourselves that it's not good for me to share how I'm thinking because somebody's going to shut me down. They're going to call me stupid, or what I share with them is going to go in one ear and out the other. They really never listened to me in the first place, so they really don't care. And it made me feel rejected. And so, since many of us don't ever want to feel the pain of rejection, we would just rather shut down instead of opening up to share, right? So it's reciprocal. It requires both of us to be willing to do that work. Consider the fact, Lady Felicia, that there are some women who have been through traumas, molestation, rape, other traumatic things, verbally abused, financially abused, sexually abused, whatever. And it is up to the man to love her through her healing process, because healing is not a one-time thing. Healing is an ongoing journey, right? And so there are going to be times that even if she went to counseling, even if she went to therapy, and she's done a lot of soul work for herself, she spent time in fasting and prayer and making sure she's allowing God to come in and heal the broken pieces. It's not until we are in a relationship that certain things will agitate and trigger you to go back to a past pain. You don't even get that experience. That's why a lot of people choose to remain in solitude, because there's nothing there to trigger you. There's nothing there to take you back to that pain. And since change is uncomfortable, and many of us as humans, especially on the other side of 40, are resistant to change, it's just more comfortable for me to have just evolved into this space. I'm financially free. I'm in a good place financially. Hey, I'm not in love with my job. I actually can't stand my job, but at least it pays me a good salary, and at least I'm accomplished on my job. So at least I have something of worth to hang my hat on. And so many people will just stay there, stay unhappy on a job, stay unhappy and be single, because they really don't want to do the necessary work to change, to grow, because that level of growth is going to strip you. It's going to require you to be vulnerable. And most of us ain't trying to be vulnerable. Most of us, we are not comfortable being naked, physically or emotionally. Others of us will get naked physically before we ever get naked emotionally. Let's go on to the next comment. There's another comment question that I saw. Let me go ahead and address that. Miss Clarissa said, I am emotionally approachable. I feel because I'm emotionally approachable, I'm taken for granted or not appreciated. That's my heart goes out to you, Miss Clarissa. That's commonplace for people who are empathetic, people who are givers in that way on an emotional level are often taken for granted. I want to encourage you, Miss Clarissa, to set some healthy boundaries in place for yourself, so that you do not give that level of access, emotionally speaking. You don't give that level of access to someone who has not earned, number one, they have not earned your trust, and they have not stated what their intentions are concerning you. Ladies, let me help y'all up in here tonight. You've got to be patient and let a man tell you what his intentions are. And if he doesn't state that up front, ask him, what are your intentions? Now, don't do it as if you are got him down at the police station under interrogation. I know a lot of sisters believe in investigating a man and putting him through an interrogation process. Listen, ladies, we will leave you in the dust. We will go on ghost mode on you. Okay. And some of us men will politely tell you, you know what? I think we're going to be just friends. Yeah. Because you know, you kind of got a lot going on there and feeling really pressured. And I'm into allowing a relationship to grow organically. Yeah. So, like this whole interrogation, investigation thing you got going on, yeah, you can have that for somebody else. I'll eventually tell you everything if you're willing to be patient with the process and we just go on this awesome journey together. Right. So, um, Miss Clarissa, I want to encourage you to set boundaries for yourself where you do not give men access. People like yourself who are kind hearted and your heart is just as big as the ocean. A lot of people like you, like myself as well, we give people too much access too quickly. We haven't vetted their character yet. We don't really know what their intentions are. We just know we're here. We're right here in the present. We're here in the present moment. We've had a few phone calls. We've enjoyed each other's company. You like the sound of his voice. All of that is cool. But a man has to state his intentions, and you have to give him space to share his intentions. And if he doesn't do that within the first couple of first few conversations, because it don't take a long time, but it does require some time. Ladies, you got to be willing to give that man some time. All right. But after several conversations, and especially if we've spent time together going out, lunch, dinner, breakfast, brunch, whatever, coffee. I know some of y'all sisters don't like coffee dates, but coffee dates are the bomb because that's where we're talking. We're not distracted by food and sending our order back if the order comes out wrong. It's just two people just conversing, having coffee in a nice intimate space. That's really the bomb. Y'all see it as a cheap date. It's called what the purpose of dating is for, discovery. So in the dating space, if you're having coffee or having tea together, it's a beautiful thing. Having a smoothie together, it's a beautiful thing because we're focusing on our conversation and getting to know each other. All right. But I know some of y'all sisters ain't going by, oh, Dr. G telling them to go out on cheap days. See, these men's don't want to be spending money. Baby, right now, this is called dating. Dating is for discovery. I'm trying to get to know you. Do I got to spend $300 on you to get to know you? Now, I'm willing to do that without compunction. But I first want to know, is it even worth my time? And I'm not saying that to be puffed up. I'm saying that to say that I am dating with intention. I'm dating on purpose with a purpose. And my ultimate purpose for dating is marriage. I ain't out here playing around. I ain't out here frivolously dating because I ain't got nothing else to do. I'm a busy man. I always got stuff to do. So if I'm taking you out on a date, it's because I'm determining whether or not we share what I call COP, compatibility of purpose. And it won't take me long to find that out, but it does require some time to figure that out. So, ladies, let that man give time. And now, if he doesn't, after a few times of us getting together, especially if you're going out together, or even if we're just having a few conversations over the phone, FaceTiming each other, after a few of those conversations, just ask him straight up. So, you know what, Jeff, what are your intentions concerning me? I believe in, watch this, ladies. Here's how you package it. Here's how you present it. I believe in letting a man lead. I don't believe a woman should be leading in a relationship. I believe a man should lead. And I'm willing to follow a man's leadership. But I need to know, what are your intentions concerning me when you think about me? Because we've been talking for the last couple of weeks, and I'm not asking you to tell me what the future is. Neither one of us know what the future is. But I just want to know what your intentions are. Ladies, at 14 years old on my first date, I had to tell this man, her father, what my intentions were concerning his daughter. At 14. So you mean to tell me we a whole 40 something, a whole 50 something, a whole 60 something, and we don't know what our intentions are yet? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. We ain't about to play them games. Tricks are for kids. All right. Listen. Now, for those of y'all that need a real life encouragement, some real life encouragement, this beautiful woman right here, Joyce Lewis Weish, at 71, she got married. 71, y'all, just this past June. Her husband is in his 70s. And when I sat down and given them some premarital counseling, guess what? That man told me straight out in the 2.5 hours that he had me on this Zoom. That man told me straight out, Joyce makes me a better man. He got a nickname for her. I'm not going to tell y'all what that nickname is. He says, she makes me a better man. This is a man who's retired from the Navy, retired on his job, that he made great money on his job. Brother got 2 pensions coming in, praise God. Told me, she makes me a better man. Ooh, my God in heaven. Ladies, y'all hear me up in here tonight. All right, here we go. So let me, Cheryl says, I believe and I am fully capable of having that type of interaction. That's good. Healthy, intimate interaction. Yeah, that's what's up. Good evening, Miss Deidre. Miss Deidre says, this is so good. Okay, so listen, let me give you a quick love nugget right here. So, ladies, here's what draws us in as men that causes us to move you from the category of, I really like her, I enjoy her, to, I want to spend my life with her. All right. This is what takes you from girlfriend status to wife status in our minds, in our heart, in our soul, in our spirit. All right. It's when you not only that you let me know that you're attracted to me, but that you have a high level of admiration and appreciation for me. Now, ladies, please just let me cook for a little bit before y'all go throwing your tomatoes at me, virtually speaking, and throw your purses at me. These men always need validation. They want a certificate for everything. Please consider, ladies, that we are the last people on planet Earth to get any level of appreciation, any level of appreciation compared to women. Please understand this. I know, ladies, many of you who are moms, and especially those of you who are single mothers, y'all feel like y'all last on the totem pole. In many cases, you are, and my heart goes out to you. In the relationship of husband and wife, father and mother, we all know mama gonna get way more appreciation than daddy ever will. All you got to do is compare Mother's Day to Father's Day. Mother's Day in America is a doggone national holiday. Every restaurant is packed. Every mall is sold out. They've got multi-million-dollar commercials that start at the beginning of May. Matter of fact, they start at the end of April. Praise God. I think Mother's Day commercials start right after Easter. Getting ready. Father's Day? Father's Day is the third Sunday. Every year, it's always the third Sunday, just to let y'all know, because I'm a pastor, so I always got this calendar mastered. Mother's Day is always, always, always the second Sunday in May. Father's Day is always, always, always the third Sunday in June. Okay, just to put y'all up on game. All right. Listen, Father's Day, they'll start the promo for Father's Day like maybe June 7th. They ain't in a rush because they're not going to spend, America is not going to spend as much money for Father's Day as much as they spend on Mother's Day. All right. So we're usually last. We're usually at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to appreciation. All right. So, ladies, what makes your man feel like a superhero? What you give him that nobody else in the world can give him, including none of them heifers at work. Oops, did the man of God just say that? Yeah, I said that. Including none of them heifers at his job. What you give him is affirmation, and you look at him with admiration, and you consistently give him appreciation. And that don't cost you nothing. It's the way you cook a meal for him. It's the way you prepare a lunch for him, or that you pull up on his job and bring him lunch, or that you shoot him some money. I know a lot of y'all have been taught, don't ever get a man money, don't ever, da, 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 da. You are, I'm going to drink, take a little sip right there. Ladies, 80% of the time, What you give to us that makes us feel like you're king, that makes us feel like you're a superhero, doesn't cost you a dime. What you give to us doesn't cost you a dime. I want you to consider that I've heard men brag to their friends with their chest swole up how when he came home from a tough day that she already had his bath water ran, candles lit, Epsom salt poured in there to help him detox from the day and get that soreness out of his back and out of his shoulders. And he had a hot meal on the table. The brother felt like a king, and it cost her not a dime. All it cost was a little bit of time. So I need to encourage you, ladies, that the power of who you are and what you give to us just takes us into outer space. Okay? We, well, let me go here. Let me go here. Let me encourage the brothers with a couple of love nuggets, and then I'm going to get out of here, y'all, because I'm already over time. Brothers, I want to give you this. What will send your woman, send your wife into outer space is when you protect the standards that she has set. All right. Brothers, I see a lot of men are in a frustrated place because their woman is frustrated, or the women that you talk to and interact with are frustrated because oftentimes women feel like we don't listen to them. He'll never pay attention to me. Never is always such a big word, right? But ladies, my brothers, I promise you, when she tells you a standard or she shares with you an expectation and you repeat it back to her, and then you make sure that you meet that expectation or you meet that standard, brothers, I promise you, that woman is she's going to fall in love with you on a deeper level. I promise you. From there, it's just about being consistent with what you have done. You heard the old saying, whatever you did, however you started out with her, you got to make sure you keep doing that with her, right? And brothers, I promise you, because women are wired to love. Oftentimes, brothers, we messed it up. We messed it up by not showing up. We messed it up by not being consistent. We messed it up. Listen, I'm guilty. Let me confess my mess. No, listen, but we messed it up some kind of way. So now we've got to figure out how to bring restoration, right? And once you bring restoration, boom, from there it's just about consistency. She's gonna talk a little mess. That's what women do. Not all, but many of them. That's what they do. Let her talk mess. But you just keep showing up with consistency. Barack told us how he got Michelle. Well, Michelle told the story how Barack pulled her in, took her out to a restaurant. They went out to dinner, celebrating the fact that he had just passed the bar exam. And he immediately started talking about marriage. And he was talking about that marriage ain't all that beneficial. But he just wanted to pick a fight with her just to see where she would go with it. And being the lawyer that she is, Michelle was like, what? Rolled out the scroll. And the dessert came out at the restaurant. Boom. Barack had a little box there, pulled out a box, opened the box with a ring. She was like, oh my God. He was like, now that ought to shut you up. Beautiful story with Barack and Michelle Obama. So my point, beloved, is brothers, man, just us being consistent and doing those things, man, there's absolutely nothing. If you have a good woman now, if you have a good woman, there is nothing that woman won't do for you when we show up and do what we do. All right. Now, ladies, I'm not saying that because the relationship should be transactional or it should be conditional. All right. Because ladies, if that man doesn't do what he was supposed to do, you still should make sure he has a hot meal. You don't get to not cook for your man because he didn't do something he was supposed to do. All right. Just like we don't get to stop providing for you. We don't get to not protect you because you fell short on something. We're going to provide and protect for you regardless. It's our God-given responsibility from God, not you, from the Lord, way above your head and your pay grade. We get our orders from him. Read your Bibles. The head of every husband is Christ. The head of every wife is the husband. Little parched. Just took a sip. How many people are looking for a real love? How many people are looking for a real love? If you're looking for a real love and you are in the Atlanta area, listen, I'm asking y'all to go to my website. Real Love Experience is going down Saturday night. Woo! Listen, we got phenomenal singing. We got comedy. We got poetry and spoken word. We've got some great food. We're going to be getting our dance on to the break of dawn. Listen, it's going down this Saturday, y'all. Don't you dare stay home watching Lifetime movies, eating a bucket of ice cream by yourself. Get your wonderful self up, get dressed, and dress to impress, and come on down to the Real Love Experience, downtown Atlanta at one Contemporary Gallery. All right, listen, go to my website, readytoloveagain.com. It's readytoloveagain.com. Go to my website and register. You can get your tickets there. If you get the VIP ticket comes with a 3-course meal, and I mean the food is going to be scrumptious. It comes with a 3-course meal plus dessert, and you get parking. Man, you can't beat that. You can't beat that with a 10-foot stick. All right. Downtown parking in Atlanta is atrocious. All right. But if you register for the VIP, bam, that's all that you're getting right there. Go to my website, readytoloveagain.com, for the Real Love Experience. This is for married couples and singles. If you're dating, listen, this is for all lovers. Shout out to Shalimar. This event is for the lover in you. My brother, Dr. Leroy, dropped a comment. Let me acknowledge my brother, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. Dr. Leroy said, "No, women need to spoil their fathers and make him feel like a king. Empty them pockets. Elevate the expectation standard." Okay, I feel you, Dr. Leroy. So my brother, Dr. Leroy McKenzie said, "Ladies, don't just cook us a good meal, run us a hot bath, and give us some good sex. We appreciate all that. Quite frankly, I love all that. Yeah, I take all of that over a gift any day." But Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. is right. Let's raise the expectation. Let's raise the standard. Ladies, you know we can't just cook you a good meal and give you a massage. You're going to be looking around the house. You're going to be looking in the closet. Where my gift at and stuff? And you won't be saying "and stuff." Where my gift and where my gift? Where my gifts and Woo! Help me teach Holy Ghost. My God, I'm going to stay holy on a Wednesday night. Listen. Listen. Let me help y'all up in here. So my brother, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. said, hey, raise the standard. Miss Deidre Taylor said, "I asked a person the same question. Apparently he didn't know what his intentions were, so he became distant." Yeah. Listen, Deidre, ladies, let me help you all up in here tonight. Do not, I repeat, do not. If a man is unable to state what his intentions are, he just is not invested in you like that yet. All right? And you need to give him only a minute, a hot little minute, to figure out what his intentions are. And if he can't figure it out, and if he can't communicate it, boom, deuces. Ladies, we very quickly, very early on in a relationship, we put you in one of 3 categories. I will not tell you what those categories are tonight. You will have to come to my class, one of my upcoming classes, or register for my program, Ready to Love Again, and I will teach you what men are looking for and how quickly we put you in a certain category and what you can do to make sure that you optimize the connection with any potential man. All right? But that's the pay 99 information, not the free 99. I just gave you 50 minutes tonight, 50 minutes of free 99. All right. So go to my website. How many of y'all are in the Atlanta area or would like to be in the Atlanta area this weekend? How many of y'all don't really have plans yet for Valentine's Day? Listen, this is your opportunity. Okay? This is your opportunity. So come on out. All right. I love y'all. Have a good night. I hope you were blessed by the information. Please share it with a friend because every one of us should be taking steps to get ready, to be prepared for love after 40. That's, of course, if you still desire real love. It's your brother G. Hightower, the Entanglement Coach. We'll see you later. Blessings.